Welcome back to Malazan Maniacs, a show that dares to go where no one has gone before, talking about a book. In this section, we're going to be talking about 3 guys drinking in a bar, a guy and a girl talking in a bar, and a guy reading a book who then goes to a bar. My name is Mac, and I have read 5.5 books of the Fallen.
My name is Danilo. I have read 10 books of the Fallen, 1 novel of the Malazan Empire, and now 1 book of the Witness series.
Oh.
My name is Shelby, and in this episode, I have read 4/7 books. Just kidding. 4/7 books of the Fallen.
I guess that's true. And I would say the same thing. I'm Sarah, and I've read 4/7 of the
Gardens of the Moon.
the Gardens of the Moon.
Yes. Wow. Very good. We're going to be talking about section 4 or book 4, Assassins, today. Not to be confused with the musical. Lee Harvey Oswald does not make an appearance, but a grassy knoll is mentioned. I'm not sure if anybody picked up on
The
that.
Gadrobi Knoll.
There's a second bone caster on the Gadrobi knoll. All right.
The magic bullet was Otaro.
Let's start with a poem, shall we? I dreamed a coin with shifting face, so many youthful visages, so many costly dreams, and it rolled and rang round the gilded rim of a chalice made for gems. Life of dreams, Ilberry's the hag.
Amen.
That's rude to call her a hag.
A
him or
poet can
her.
be a hag,
A
too.
poet can be,
And
a
is
P can
hag
be
a-
an H.
Is hag a purely feminine word, or is hag refer to old hag man?
Specifically, etymologically, yes, it refers to old hag man. Now, you might be. Now,
Old hag man.
I don't know what that
All
is.
hags are descended from the Hagman. I don't know
True.
if you know this.
True.
King Hagman.
I
King
feel-
Hagman, please have mercy.
I feel like if you're publishing poetry under the pseudonym The Hag, I'm assuming you're like reclaiming that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's epic, actually. That's a
beautiful.
So she's a baddie.
Yeah.
Ilberis the baddie
Oh my
is what it
God.
should
Have
say.
you seen Ilveris' Instagram? Oh
Her
my God.
OnlyFans?
She's like-
Holy shit. Talk about
Talk about what? An OnlyFans?
ill on my bear till I hag.
Well, that's not her name.
Ilber.
It's her
Oh,
handle.
Ilberis. I bear on my the till I
There you go. Oh my
And
God,
we'll
I'm
be
gonna
talking
hag.
about this poem for an hour.
Yep. All right, that's how book 4, Assassins, begins. This is the poem to chapter 11. I'm going to read it too. The night held close as I wandered, my spirit unfooted to either earth or stone, unraveled from tree, undriven by iron nail, but like the night itself, a thing of air stripped of light, so I came upon them, those masons who cut and carved stone in the night, sighting by stars and battered hand. What of the sun? Asked I of them. Is not its cloak of revelation the warmth of reason in your shaping? And no one among them answered. No soul can withstand the sun's bones of light, and reason dims when darkness falls. So we shape barrows in the night for you and your kin. Forgive my interruption then, said I. The dead never interrupt, said the mason. They but arrive. Pauper's Stone, Darujistan.
And what's great
Ow,
about
ow.
that is that that's just like a little bit of that's just a little something for the story. You know, like he just wrote this beautiful poem, and it's not even like it's not part of the plot. It's just like,
Yeah.
little.
That's written on a stone somewhere near where they
It's
are.
also a reference to the fact that the characters they were stonemasons, right?
Yeah,
There's
there's,
a
there's a lot of
lots of
ma-
mentions of
a lot
the
of
masons.
masons, a lot of stones,
And
a
also
lot
in
of
this
building
next
of a
Whiskey Jack, they
barrow.
built a lot of bridges.
Yep. In this next section, somebody who is dead does arrive.
Well,
perhaps.
and they're building a barrow, and that guy is in the barrow.
Yep, that guy.
Oh,
The tyrant.
that guy, Mr. Tyrant.
Mr.
Mr.
Tyrant
Tyrant. So
himself.
the
It's
pauper.
almost like the poems are clues.
Almost.
It's almost like I'm solving a puzzle.
So this section starts in Krupp's mind. I can't imagine a worse place to
Hell
be.
yeah!
He's having another dream at the very beginning of things. We meet Pran Chol, a Talan Imas bone caster,
who is human,
who's human, not a
not
weird
a skeleton.
zombie,
Yeah, not a skeleton.
which is pretty fun.
Yeah. So what was fun about the first 2 pages of this is the most legendary info dump of all time.
Yeah.
Like just immediately, I was like, okay, wow, we're really in this legendary. And I like that it starts with Krupp, yet another night, yet another dream. He's like, another day, another dollar. But here we go.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
I kind of
says
felt
Krupp.
that way too. I did was like, okay, we're in Krupp's dream. I think I'm becoming Krupp a little bit in this book series. It's very fun.
Shelby,
What
do
do you
think
mean by that?
I like the food. I know it's going to be a dream sequence. I'm like
Oh.
ready
You
to
steal
go.
them with magic in the market like a
Oh.
cartoon.
Yeah.
If I were to steal things, it would probably be food. So
Shelby, what do you think of this sentence? I am Prawn Chol of Canig Toll's clan among the Kron Talon. I am also the white fox Krupp, wise in the ways of ice. What do you think about that?
it sounds like something that's not most people should say out loud.
He's saying the quiet part out loud.
You know, I love these books to death, but every time I hear Kron Talon, I'm like, we just something else. I don't know. That's too
Something
like
It's so weird.
Kron Talon.
Yucks. Once again, we get to a section where I say, okay, as
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't read a lot of fantasy is like, but I'm buckled in now. I feel like, okay, I've got my air mask, I've got my popcorn,
Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
buckled in
Yeah.
on the airplane that's going down.
So the airplane that's going down, you were still served popcorn.
Well, might as well go out with a bang.
well, I'm Krupp, you know.
Yeah.
It's
She's
her
wa-
last
she's
wish. She's on a
watching-
falling airplane.
She's watching Love Actually next to Prawn Chol.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
he's like, I'm actually the freaking bonecaster of the Kron Talon.
They say they can't stop doing genocide against the Jagat, and as we learn later when we read, really, the Jagat just like to hang out and not do anything, except for once every thousands of years. There's a really bad one.
The Talon can't. They don't even try to justify it
Yeah, they
anymore.
don't. They don't.
They're just like, this is what we do. So, pop quiz. What are the 4 elder races?
Oh, I know this. the Kuchain Shamal,
Yep.
Oh God.
the Fork Roll Assail,
Yep.
Mhm.
The Talani Moss, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And then a secret fourth one.
Well,
Wait,
I
it's in
just
here. It's
said
in
it.
here. It's in here. You did say it? The,
We've said it
the
already.
Kron Talon? Is that?
No,
I
those are
think
also
I wrote it
Talon.
down.
I did
It's
write
the
it.
we've said it already.
Give me the first letter.
J.
J.
Jagged.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And we-
Kachain Chamal does not sound like that should be a word written in
Kachain
this book.
Shamal.
I agree.
I don't like.
we
I
might,
don't like that
we
one.
might find out why. But we know so far. We know what. I mean, I guess in this section we learn more what a Jagat is. We know what a Tlanimas is. It's a person.
They're pretty.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
just a
interested in
person.
that. And I'm also
we
like,
don't know what a fork rule of sail is.
I thought this whole part where he's at the beginning of time having a conversation, I was like, this is actually epic. You're saying a bunch
Well,
of
he
shit
d-
that doesn't make any sense.
This is important. He's not at
But,
the beginning
like-
of time. He's
No,
at
but,
the
like-
beginning of the Talani Mas are about to do the thing that they're going to regret for 300,000 years.
Well, they're
Yep.
going to do the Adam and Eve, the fall of humanity, and it's going to pass down forever and ever until now we have Empress Lucine.
Well, they're gonna no. The thing that they're doing is becoming zombies. They're about to agree to
I'll be
become an
a
undead army. They're about to do the rite of Imas. They're about to become undead, and then a pregnant lady shows up with a tattoo of a fox on her belly,
White Fox.
a white fox.
Crap.
Mm.
And they say this baby is empty.
Yep.
It needs a soul. and then Karul's talking to Krupp, and he's like, all right, so you're going to walk over that hill, and then a shambling skeleton is going to come up, and it has to follow you here. And then we're going to put that thing's soul into this empty baby.
And he says, I really don't want to
Says,
do
okay.
that, but okay, I will.
No, he says, I've got charm.
Well, he
This will
does.
be easy
He
for
does say
me.
that. And then he walks around over the hill and he
Mad
sees a
respect.
zombie and he's like, oh boy, I don't know about
And then
this.
starts following him, and Krupp is like, I guess I am that charming.
Yeah.
That just a bag of bones is going to follow
like,
me
"There'll be
across
no
the hill.
problem."
You're
for me.
not, Krupp. You're not him.
I liked this that she was like scary Frankenstein.
Yeah.
She was like a weird beast, and they're like, hey, this is actually so fucked up.
So who
Yeah.
is-
You can't be doing
who
that.
is
So who
this?
is that?
That's Tattersail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
obviously.
it's
And-
it's
Who's
Be-
the
it's-
body?
Oh, Beller. Not
That's
Beller.
Night Shi- Night-
Night Chill.
Chill.
Night Chill. That is
It's
Night
I
Chill.
was
That's the
learning
body
shit.
in the bag.
Yeah.
And Tattersail's soul is riding it, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Something
I
like that.
really thought we were done with Tattersail, so I was.
Shelby hates Tattersail.
But she's going to be something different now. She's a
she
weird
better.
baby.
I
wrote-
have good news.
I wrote to
they're not going to
myself,
call that thing Tattersail.
Hope
It's-
That's true.
Tattersail comes back as a character I like. That's what I wrote.
I think you might. I think you might be pretty excited.
I'm pretty pumped. It does seem like, she's like, okay, she's such a powerful character in the beginning of the book, but then she's so sad. Like, she's just not fun to read. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I get it.
Sure.
And it would matter, I think, more if like I had a relationship with her before she was like, I'm so miserable that I
Yeah.
made all these choices. But I don't. So I only know her as this sad lady who made bad choices, but is going to have to live for forever.
And then gave a big hug that killed her.
Yeah.
And now she
And
gets
now
a
I'm
fresh
like,
start. The
I-
ultimate
thank
fresh
goodness.
start.
She's literally the Immaculate Conception.
This child is going to be soul taken.
Yep.
We see this word again, which we know to be shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter.
We don't
Yep.
really know what that means.
Yep.
A werewolf.
But we know, but she's going to be a werewolf. Sorry, let me just, I'm looking here.
Sorry, he's not in this section, man.
Oh my God, because she's not in this section. She goes to have birth, and Krupp makes this remark that, like, boy, she's been giving birth for a long time. Rude thing to say, but she does give birth to this.
Top things you don't say to a woman giving birth. You're taking a long time.
A little baby is born. The tattoo has disappeared from the Rivi woman's stomach. And Pranchol says that he's excited to see this person as an adult in 20 years. And then Krupp is like, I'm actually time traveling right now. This is 300,000 years in the past. It's going to be a while. And Pranchol goes, ha, 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 you're so right.
So is
I
she
thought
really
he
born
was-
in the past, or where is she? When in time was she born?
It's like in Krupp's dream that is being like
She is
possessed by Karul, which is an elder god. It's like a weird time,
but she's
soul
being
thing.
born now.
Yes,
We're going to
in
see
time.
this person for a lot of the rest of this
Yeah.
story.
Well,
That-
in a different section,
in a
we
different
run
section.
into the kid.
Yeah. But it's being born now. It's just being told to Cruel through this thing, and you can also maybe inter that like maybe he's in the dream of Pranchol 300,000 years ago. Also, they're like connected through time, sharing this moment with each other.
Crazy
That's nice.
confusing.
And the baby will be connected with the Talanimas in some way because Pranchol was like part of this.
They use
thing.
Talon magic to birth the baby.
Yeah.
Which
So-
can't be good.
Go ahead.
I thought potentially that this was Tool's child.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Because I was like,
Interesting.
oh, they mentioned 300,000 years. And
True.
it seems kind of like a lot of these timelines are intertwined and all these characters have
Yeah,
some sort
yep,
of connection. So
yep.
that was my thought, was maybe Tool ended up having a kid and this was Tool's kid.
Maybe.
That's
I
interesting.
don't know. I don't
They
know.
also revealed that the elder god, Cruel, cannot get killed by the other gods. Or like he's got some immunity.
He says yes. He says that his soul is immune to the meddlings of younger gods because he's like an elder god. So like
Yeah.
Opan can't get in here and fuck shit up because
Yeah.
this is happening.
Which is,
on a level.
I was like, oh, gotta note that bad boy because he's definitely going to come around. And Opan seems like one of the most powerful people so far in play. You don't really know what's going
Yeah.
on. But if Cruel's immune, I'm just trying to flag all like,
Yeah, I think that's
this
smart
the
to do.
sword. Here's this guy can't get
Well, there are
fucked up
and
by this.
Tool says it later. He's like, when we say the word elder, that is a relative term. So like, my magic is really powerful because it's very old, but like maybe Amtos Falak, the magic of the Jagged, is more powerful than mine. They're just both elder magics. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of vague stuff.
It's like a
going on.
different, it's a different kind. And there's a big, like throughout this series, one of the themes is the older people or things that have been around or like dormant sort of come back into the world and the world has changed. And maybe they are not as powerful anymore as they think they are. So there's a lot of that happens. So Karul is like, oh, I might be immune to this, but he might get into the real world and like have his shit fucked up by Cotillion or something because he doesn't know because the world has changed since they've been away.
Yeah. That's the dream sequence. Do we have anything else to say about the?
Yes,
the
I
dream
was
sequence?
shocked by how much zombie info I would get in this book. I
Yeah.
thought
Oh, yeah.
Tool
No,
was just
literally.
going to be a fun, like, look at this little thing we made in this
Yeah.
series. And now I'm like, oh, he's a main character and
yeah.
everything roots from like this race. And I just can't. It's,
He's cute, but he's an oppressor.
yeah.
He is. He's the cutest oppressor in literature, some are saying. Krupp is, we kind of flash back to like hours before he had this dream. He is like studying at Baruch's house, and he goes outside and is like, man, this road work is really crazy. And then he hears somebody,
It's giving me a headache.
he hears somebody curse in Malazan. And he's like, oh, shit.
That can't be good.
Can't be good. And then the next section is like Whiskey Jack. It's like the quote is something like Whiskey Jack watched the fat man walk away.
Whiskey Jack dressed in a hard hat and high-vis vest.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it.
I told you that
I couldn't believe
come
it.
back.
I literally wrote down, they are the road workers. They're the construction workers. He literally goes, oh, yeah, planting mines is a tough job. So, we're going to do it right under everybody's nose. That's fucking
I like
crazy.
That was so smart. I
Well-
was like, okay, and then also
where's
for
the city planner?
context, we're in
They killed
Minnesota during construction
There's
season
two
right now.
seasons.
So
Planting a mine and summer.
and winter.
And
so
winter. Fuck. I fucked it up.
No,
The
but
ground,
like,
the
I
ground
was
is too
very
hard to
empathetic
plant
and,
mines in
like-
the street in winter in Minnesota.
did they really kill? Because honestly, I was like, wouldn't somebody isn't there a government that would
Well,
realize
I
that
mean,
the construction shouldn't be
Yes,
happening?
I think a glaring flaw in the plan is that they maybe came upon roads that needed no construction and then just put a mine in
But
there.
if I'm the mayor of Darujistan,
And this is important, there's not one.
but just walk with me for a minute here. There's got to be a city planner. There's the construction crew. They'd walk out. They'd be like, "That's not us."
This argument is why the prequel movies are the way that they are. Because it's all about tax code
Star Wars
and the people in
prequels.
charge of in the Senate.
But
So
it matters.
you'd rather
because
have that?
logic. It matters in my brain.
Have you
what
ever
were the
seen
tax
those-
levies to get the Death Star to happen? Because that shit ain't
There's
free.
a scene where Turbin Orr is like, he didn't even consult me on the road construction. That's what you're looking for?
No, I'm just
have you ever seen those videos where they're like, just bring a ladder to an event and they'll invite you in automatically?
Like a
I was
clipboard
like,
and a high-vis
this
vest, you
is
can go
their
anywhere.
flipping ladder. Like
Yeah.
that's so smart.
yeah,
They
that's
brought a
true. But
ladder.
I would go. I'm working for the government, and they're not me.
They're busy. They're worried about the Malazans invading their town.
Yeah.
But little do they know.
the government's
They're
kind of
already there.
screwed
They're
up here.
already there. But at least it's the guys that are the good Malazans.
Yeah,
The
it's
ones
good
that
one.
will
Let's say.
only blow up the city.
Yes, that will blow up the city and maybe town hall if their other
But
plan
they're
doesn't
conflicted
work out.
about that. So
Sorry's like, that's him. And Whiskey Jack's like, okay, go follow him. I don't have time to deal with this. And Whiskey Jack, he remarks on this, and Whiskey Jack is like, oh my God, I think they were right. I think she's like,
I was like, the worst thing to see when you're having a panic attack about your own complicity in the deaths of innocent people is you look up and you see a guy with red hands staring at you out of a window. You're like, oh man, what am I doing here? You look up, oh my God.
Out spot out.
This is, I think, this section with Whiskey Jack is maybe the thesis statement of maybe the whole book series about growing old and inured to war and the crimes that you were doing in the name of other people. This whole here, let me see if I can find some direct quotes.
Well, I've got some.
Oh yes, please.
Well, this is after Sari walks away and goes to follow Krupp, and he's like, in the empty eyes of this child, he'd seen the withering of his own soul. That's on page 259. And then there's a big paragraph before that where he's like, the source of his horror lay in the unveiling of what he was becoming, a killer stripped of remorse, armored in the cold iron of inhumanity, freed from the necessity to ask questions, to seek answers, to fashion a reasonable life like an island in a sea of slaughter, where it's like he just feels out of control of his life because he's just this, tool for the empire, and it has a lot of guilt and it weighs on him. And this was, I was like, because you guys were like, this is a war book. And so what I was expecting was a lot of big battles and sword fighting, right? You remember
Yeah.
there's going to be sword fighting.
Yeah.
And then this section, or that paragraph specifically, I was like, oh, so this is actually a war book about the emotional toll that
Yeah.
a war has on a people.
It's not like
Mhm.
action scenes. It's
No,
this.
it's like
I was planning action.
Yeah.
So
I
it
was
was a big
expecting
surprise to
action.
have to read about this guy's sad, sad
Yeah, it's less action
thoughts.
and more. Everyone's kind of moody
It was-
about. The
yeah.
whole
Oh
thing.
my
Yeah.
God. The amount of moody sentences I have said out loud. Okay, so many times.
I feel
I
that
mean,
way
not
every
that
time
they're
Perrin
not
talks.
great
I'm like, just get
introspective.
over it,
Yeah,
man.
Perrin at
just
this
shut
point.
the you're such a kid.
They do brood.
Yeah.
This is the first time Whiskey Jack admits that they're his friends. He says, and yet his friends might die there. He'd finally call them what they were. And the friends of others might die. And sons, daughters, parents, the roll call of shattered lives seemed unending.
I love him.
Yeah.
He finally called them what they were.
Yeah.
His
friends.
friends.
His friends.
Well, because he can't admit it to himself because they could die at any moment.
Yeah.
So you put up these walls and you keep everybody out and you just do what you're told.
I think a fun thing about Whiskey Jack is he's always staring off into the distance being sad. And then whenever anybody talks to him, he's always like, oh, my God.
He's, shut up. Go back to your job.
Wait, all right, I'm in charge of people.
Mallet eases his headache, which is cute.
Oh yeah,
Eases
his
headache
yet again.
yet again, and he's like being grumpy about like healing his headache, and then Mal is walking away, and he's like, "Hey, I also kind of bit the inside of my cheek." And he turns around and he comes back. I think that's very cute.
They
And
love each other.
Yeah, they do. It's nice.
This is the kind of love. This is the romance.
This is
of the
real
book.
love.
This is real
Crocus wants to become a nerd to get a girl.
True.
I'm so
We've all
fucking
been
sick
there.
of Crocus Younghand. He's the most annoying little shit in the whole. Is he ever going to be a man? And I mean that in a feminist way.
I really do wonder why Opon picked this. Like, the more I'm like, I think they needed a stupid boy. I do. I think they were like, this is perfect.
Because he's like malleable or what?
So, well, he's just like, so like, I think every character who is wise enough to understand that the gods could have control on them have to like be able to ground themselves. And
They
just
talk about that later. too.
can't.
Yep. He's too
so
young.
He is too young, so he just goes off of his emotions. So I think part of it is like it is probably Opon who is also like really feeding into the fact that
Yeah, he's
we
like, I
also
can
learn
use
that,
this
like,
person well.
Later, it's not in this section, but Paran is so driven to kill Lorne, and he has a moment where after something happens we won't talk about yet, he's like, wait, that was like stupid, and he's like, oh, it's because Opon was probably controlling me. I think Crocus is not mentally able to put that together, like the whole
Well, he
returning
doesn't even
the whole
know that
returning
it's
of the
happening.
returning of the items I have always taken to mean that's Opon telling him to do that, and he's like forming that.
I guess I do forget he has the coin with him all the time.
Yeah,
he
so-
also doesn't know. He's the only one who does not know what's happening. He has
He doesn't
no
know any-
clue.
that's
the
what
whole
he
point of
is.
this
He
scene.
doesn't
Is
know.
what-
The whole point of this next scene is he's like learning the history, and he's like, duh, what is that? And
Well, because it's probably honestly, if he knew, it'd probably be worse. Because then he'd like try to do something about it.
yeah.
So like the fact that he's doing like Opon turned his like teenage boy dial up to like 11, so he's just doing like teenage boy stuff rather than being like, I have to go do something drastic. He's
Right.
just like going to return the things of a girl he's a
gotta
crush
go
on.
see
So
her
how
boobs
old?
again.
How old is he actually? Because me and Mac are having a conversation. In my head, this has been a 12-year-old boy the
He's-
whole
No, he's
time.
17.
He's like
17.
17.
That's
He's 17.
insane. He literally acts like a 12-year-old.
Well,
Because
because
Opon
I
is
think
influencing
yeah.
and I
him.
understand, but he just annoys me.
Also, 17-year-old boys are kind of dumb.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
and
actually
they
really
they
true.
don't have the internet for
perfect
perspective.
They don't have Jordan Peterson to set them on the right track, you know. What a fucking prick.
Crocus is listening to JRE.
Crocus by night, by day. That was a JRE reference. If anybody, people out there might know.
Crocus, I want to do MMA
Yeah.
and be a stand-up comedian.
The comedy mothership is in my future.
Crocus is on Kill Tony.
all this to say, I do agree that he is insufferable at this point. However, I like can get why it's
Yeah,
why
and I
he
just have
is.
to hang on because
Same
there's
with
been
Parent.
some character arcs in other books where I'm like, this isn't like they're insufferable and I'm gonna lose my mind, and then they end up being my favorite
Fitz.
character.
Mhm.
No, I love Fitz always. But somebody else from that series
Yes.
has an insane
I know who you're
character
talking about.
turnaround. And so I just have to hang on.
I think some of this stuff, there are moments in this. The next book is, I like this book. The next book is so much better.
oh, I can't
Yeah.
wait.
And just like a lot of the things you're going to find annoying just sort of drop away.
Yeah.
That's
it's sort
great.
of remarkable.
Well,
Right.
that's how I feel about Lord of the Rings. This to me is like Fellowship of the Ring.
Careful.
Fellowship of the Ring is a good book, but it drags and it's like lore dense and it's like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. Get to the point.
Okay.
And so
point
and it
is they're
feels
hiking.
like
No, I feel that way
Through
with
the
this book.
Shire.
it feels
Get to
like
the
this where
point.
it's like
Divorce lawyer
holy shit,
near
like you don't
me.
have to keep telling me why the ring is important.
It's far.
You know?
I have not read Lord of the Rings, but I do agree with you on everything you said. Like, I get it.
Huh?
I
Just
get it.
get to the point. Get to the point. And, like,
Shelby's
Huh?
watched about half of Lord of the Rings, and I
But
had to
the
like
two
pause and
towers-
explain to her what like what Galadriel was, and she's like, "Well, how are you supposed to know that?"
Oh, sorry.
I love you,
I
Shelby.
forgot to mention this. She says, or Whiskey Jack says, somebody says that Krupp is a seer.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, someone
yes.
said the word
I
seer.
wrote
And
that
it
down.
rocks the being
Yes.
called Sari's world.
Krupp is a seer, but not clear on what that is. That's and then I wrote, love the construction, very sweaty.
I'd love a fanfic of that.
Shelby loves how sweaty
We
everyone
are
is.
in construction
She
season
loves-
now, LOL. Very empathetic to this part. And then I wrote, I think Seer awakened the wax witch, which might be in the girl. That
I think
was
she
my
was.
guess.
Oh yeah, because the wax witch was a seer, and
Correct.
she like put herself into the girl a little bit.
You're right.
I'm right.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
what I
Yeah,
thought.
that's totally what
that's
it is.
correct.
Because I
Good
was
job,
like,
Shelby.
that is why she snapped out. So that was my best.
Yeah, that's why,
Yes.
because it's like we don't know the original girl's name.
Yeah.
Whatever her name
The
was,
Fisher girl.
the Fisher girl, is railing against both Cotillion and Regalia, whatever her
The
wax
name is,
witch.
the wax
yeah.
witch. And she says seer, and it just like destroys her mind. And then Cotillion takes over and just like uses his
Yeah.
shadow magic or whatever to just get it out.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, whatever. We got something to do. So in these moments when following Krupp to the bar, like that's just Cotillion is fully in control
Yeah.
in these moments.
And here's a thought: is her name Sorry because that's the last thing they said to
you
her?
said that on the first episode.
Did I?
They're never gonna say that, but yeah.
I forgot that I said that,
Yeah.
and so if you,
You already
listen to
said that.
this, thanks.
Yep.
If you listen to this,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
If you listen to this, comment below.
and I might repeat myself again because sometimes I forget.
But yes, that is, I mean, I think that's why she's called Sorry.
Yeah. And I
Oh.
think with Cotillion probably didn't expect there to be another magical entity in the little girl that he possessed.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
think it would have been like, okay, there's a little girl. I'm going to overpower her will because I'm like a god.
well,
But
I like
then there's
that.
this other thing that's like, oh, like I don't think he knew, which like I think he can like get a grip on it, but like it changes something.
Well, and he also underestimates the power of a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of
so
willpower.
true. There's a 17-year-old boy, but do not mess with
Well,
a
and so
13-year-old
Sari's
girl.
not
It's true.
13 anymore. She is now 17.
Right, so even more power.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's so true.
Krupp is doing close-up magic to steal food.
Oh my God.
I
I
reread that. I'm
love
like,
that.
I forgot about this. This
I hate it.
This
he
is-
has special pockets in
I
his clothes to
hate
hide
this
it.
food.
scene is
Why
this scene
do
is
you hate
entirely
this?
pointless.
It doesn't add any because it doesn't add anything.
No,
Wait,
Woo!
wait.
He's
what
like,
is
he's
that?
like he's like floating melons into his sleeves.
no,
It's like,
because
it's
he's
the
sleight
next
of hand.
page break.
I think it shows. You know, he's got special
Ooh,
pockets
it's
in his
264 to
clothes.
265.
it's really important that we know he has special pockets in his clothes.
Well, that could come back up, but also,
Yeah, you have to. It's really the setup payoff structure. We can't. You can't just. You need Chekhov's secret Krupp pockets.
I
You
just
can't
think this
can't
is a
come
good
out of nowhere.
example of Steven Erickson thinking Krupp is funny, and I vehemently
You just
disagree.
you just gotta lighten up a little.
I will
Yeah.
say,
Except
what
the
do you
whimsy.
like about Krupp?
well, I'll tell you this: I hate these three. I think these three sections are bad and work against what I like in the book.
oh,
And I think the last section, which we have not read, wraps it all up in a neat bow where I'm okay with this. But on a reread, like I seriously, all this assassin guild stuff, it is needlessly complicated for something
Yeah.
that just turns into like she steals an acorn and awakens some sort of evil dude.
Yeah, it is very like meandery
Yeah.
and lots of short scenes with two people who are like together.
Which, if it was a screenplay, you cast two
Yeah, it's
famous people. You
super-
cast Krupp,
yeah.
Krupp, Murillo, and Rallick to play famous people, and they're just chewing scenery and acting their hearts out. I don't think there's a problem. But you're reading it, and there's just that's why I said my intro. They're just sitting around talking, and like I think it's effective earlier in the book because we're getting a glimpse into the lives that might be shattered by the Malazan Empire. But now we know that these three dickheads are probably going to be fine, and who care? I don't care about
because
these three
it's
people at
it's a
all.
lot of it's like the reveals of things we sort of already
already
knew or
knew.
could suspect.
Yeah.
Because it's like in the other sections, it's what are Rallick and Murillo up to, and then you sort of know it's to like avenge Cole.
Yeah.
And then there's like three other scenes in this
But
where
they
they're
don't
like,
advance their
we're
plan.
gonna
at
we're
all
gonna
here.
avenge Cole.
Yeah, they don't advance their plan at all. They save Cole's life at one point, but they're
Right.
not like there's no scene of them.
I-
Also,
I-
I don't care about Cole. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I mean, I care about him because I think he's like an interesting character. But in service to the larger narrative, I'm like, I don't really get what saving Cole has to do with the plot of the story Gardens
yeah.
of
Sure.
Moon.
I think that way a lot about many of these characters, such as Tattersail. I would not mind if I had some context beforehand, and then I saw like the rune and everything she
Yeah.
went through, and then
Well,
I
you
would
just
feel
don't
more
think it's sad,
empathetic.
right,
But I'm like,
right.
I don't care because I have no context with you. Cole, I do like because I'm like, that's kind he's just kind of this funny drunk guy who hangs around. That's okay.
Yeah.
He becomes a little bit more important later, but I think the payoff for these chapters is people finally meet each other, and you're like, oh, that's fun. Like, wow,
Yeah.
the worlds are emerging a little bit, or that's kind of silly. And like, what would it be? But I do also agree. From reading this book, I've learned I really, not a very popular opinion, I think, between this group, but I like that first person perspective of like one main character, because you go through and you're like, I don't have the context of everything else. So I get to discover those things as they discover it.
For sure.
Where for all of this, I'm like, I already knew that. I wrote no duh on my notes for so many things. For the fact that they're like, wait a second, sorry is not actually a little. I'm like, no duh. Yes, we knew this the whole time. This is not a reveal. There's no big reveals. Or
I think sometimes that can be fun though when so Lorne at some point in the next 3 sections still thinks that Sari is like this evil character, and so I think the tension is, oh, she's gonna try to kill this little girl who, like the actual little girl who didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like that's, I think, where the tension is coming from. I think it doesn't work when you're just watching 3 dickheads be good at everything.
Well, and I think there's lots of stuff where it's trying to be too clever, where it's like, oh, this person doesn't know this, but actually the other person does know it. And then there's like the other reveal where we learn that the other person actually knows that they know it. And it's like something that's sort of inconsequential.
You know what?
And I think like the that's sort of playing with perspective or who knows what. It gets refined in further books and like used better.
You know why I like this section and why I like Krupp's scene? Because it's fun. There has not been any I hate picking this book up because, well, I don't want to be that harsh, but
you can. No, you just be
for
honest.
most, I've never been itching to read this like I have other books because it's not very fun.
I agree.
But
with that.
it's the Dark Souls. You come home and I read about the horses that die in war. Okay,
yeah.
great. But Krupp just robbing some people for some snacks. I'm like, that's kind of funny. Like, I kind of like that little tidbit there. So I get the plot and the strategy, but what's not fun is being like, now I have to read this weird dream sequence where they talk for 3 pages about things that it's just going to go over my head.
Yeah.
I know 3 books down the line after I put 2 years into this series, maybe I can come back and enjoy that a little more. But today I don't really like that. But today,
well, it's
I do
just
like
it's
Krupp's
like
scene.
Fellowship of the Ring. You just got to edit it back. Like it's just there's too much, and or maybe you just have to parse it out better. Like he just has these legendary dumps rather than feeding you a little bit at a time.
It can be quite clunky.
Well, and I think a lot of the other books do a much better job of balancing the fun and the sort of lightheartedness, whereas sort of the only part of this that's in that is Krupp. And so Krupp is sort of carrying the weight of the whimsy on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And so we need extra scenes with Krupp to be a palate cleanser between all these brooding people.
Yeah.
And I think, in future books where it's all just a bunch of D&D parties wandering around and at the end they meet, that's basically the structure of every book.
Every book, yeah.
Or a section of their adventure getting to the place they need to go that is fun or funny.
Or fun. Well, there's the fun and funny, and then there's the fun in the whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah,
cool
it's adventure
fantasy stuff. Yeah.
But the part I do I do think it's sometimes you're like, okay, yeah, we already knew that. The one thing I appreciate about it is that this is a book where everybody is smart. And so we don't have to waste time figuring stuff out. Because sometimes I get so bored when it's something is revealed to me and then I have to watch and wait for a character to figure it out. I'm like, I already fucking know this. But in this book, what I appreciate is you learn something and you're like, oh, they think the other person doesn't know. You cut to it, they already know. And I'm like, so now we can just get to the interesting part, which is the conflict between you two, rather than you discovering what the conflict is going to be. We can just cut all that bullshit out because everybody in this book is smart. And so we're good. We can get to the. We can get to it.
I think for me, there's not enough dramatic irony.
What do you mean?
What you're saying is you don't like dramatic irony.
Sometimes I do, but sometimes it drags out,
sure.
and it's
I just
annoying.
wish there was more of it in this book.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is everyone sort of knows everything.
Yes, from the jump, and even if they don't, there's a 300,000-year-old guy there to just say the answer. And so there's also no
mystery.
Yeah,
There's
mysteries
not a lot of
are
mysteries.
constantly being solved for us as they're being revealed to us. Which I don't really love, and that's also a thing that stops happening in books because the rest of the books are
in a movie.
we're
It makes
taking,
so much more sense.
Right, The rest of the books are like we're taking these people, some of the we've met, some of the we haven't, and we're throwing them into even crazier situations where they're like, no, not crazy and like
well, it's
complicated. It's just like it's like, oh, this is a being I have never like imagined in my head before. How is Fiddler gonna figure that out?
Yeah, it's not
like stuff
they
like
go
that.
from one town to another town, and then they go outside the town and go back into town, and then he'll go to a party. Like that's not like the rest of the books aren't that.
Yeah, that's good because I
think
just
it's- yeah, it
The
tracks.
mission is
there's
very
there's
funny.
no wars. We've read a bunch of this book. There's been no war stuff. The book started
Just at
with
the
a battle,
beginning,
and then
yeah.
it's
the most
people,
confusing battle in
it's
the
people-
universe of the
it's people
world.
traveling.
It's
Yeah.
people walking around.
Walking
And
around
some,
and
and
then
some of
sitting
the people
there.
I think are very
Plane, though.
interesting, and some of the
And are
people I don't
fun.
think are very interesting.
yeah,
example?
everybody from
Yeah.
Darujistan.
Talk the Younger, my real life boyfriend, I think is very
the
interesting.
goblin.
No, he is a normal. He's normal.
Well, like you read, like I remember, you grow to know. This isn't a spoiler. You grow to know and love Fiddler through the series. I read back and what
He's
like
barely
listen,
in
this Fiddler, like this Fiddler sucks.
Yeah.
but
This
Fiddler's
is
like
not
the best
Fiddler I
character in
think
the
of.
series.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So
I think I'm also biased because I love bars. So part of me
True.
is like,
I'm
I
gonna
like
they're
a
getting a drink.
setting
I
of a
like
very
bar.
betraying the like D&D campaign. It sort of starts in a bar. All these characters live here.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
their
they're in the
local
bar.
Yeah.
so that's where they meet. Like we never go to Murillo's house.
No. So Krupp, speaking of bars, Krupp is on his way to the bar. He walks in. This is where I said a guy reads a book and goes into a bar. Sorry tries to follow him, and the lookout, his name is Chert. He's like, "Oi, little girl, you're mighty pretty looking," and then she just stabs him in the fucking head, which
I
I think is
appreciated
awesome.
that. I
Yeah.
said that's pretty good.
Immediately.
I
Yeah,
thought
there
that was pretty brutal with
Yeah.
the eye. Going
Yeah.
through the eye is pretty
And then
intense.
Hey.
not even bothering to like hide the body or cast some sort of spell.
She just walks
walk right.
No,
She
I
walks
think
right
she
into the
throws
building.
it over like
Well,
the
he
bridge.
falls over the ledge, but she's like,
like,
that's good enough. And she goes into the bar, and right away, somebody goes outside and they're like, "Hey, Chert's dead."
somebody
Someone
killed
stabbed him.
Chert.
And then two bar regulars come over, and they see Sari is like covered in blood, and the two bar regulars are women, and they're like, "It's all right. Chert was a dickhead. Like, you're with us. We'll protect you."
and I liked them.
yeah.
I said
Well,
that's
they
great.
don't know that they're talking to some
Exactly.
sort of eldritch assassin.
They
Yeah.
think she's just a girl who was
Who was pissed off.
Yeah.
Crocus sits down. He tries to pay for a drink. He drops all of his coins except for one that doesn't stop spinning, like the end of Inception.
Yes, that's what it reminded me of. I'm like, why does this feel so familiar?
And then it cuts to black,
And
directed
then it
by
cuts to black.
Christopher Nolan. And we never know if the whole book was Krupp's dream or not.
He's like, not that coin. I'm going to keep that coin. He looks and he sees Sari is covered in blood, and Sari realizes that guy's the coin bearer. That was the coin. I'm going to have to kill this guy too.
Well, and Crocus sees her bloody knife.
Yeah.
How
so he knows that she did it.
unlucky.
Yeah.
So we looked at the beginning, the dramatis personae. What does it say under Chert in the dramatis personae?
An unlucky bully.
Yeah. Truer
I
words.
did think that was very funny. I still, as the newer fantasy reader, like with all these names, and they're all so similar, have to go back and look at the pages. And I did see that, and I laughed out loud. So there are times when I'm starting to enjoy. Like I'm like, Steven, I see what you did there. That
And I
was
think
cute.
at this point, we've met everybody in the book.
Yay.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yep.
Well, and I think
For
sometimes
real?
you can just let them wash over you.
Yeah. Like
But-
No,
Chert.
but it was. I'm glad I went back and read that
'Cause that's
because
funny.
you guys didn't know
Because
that.
he's a bully, and he deserved to
unlucky
get stabbed in the
bully.
eye a little bit.
Uh,
Cool that
Justice,
nobody else
a
can
little
touch
bit of
the
justice.
coin a little bit. I think
Hold
that's
on,
kind of
I'm
fun.
working on a
I
joke.
don't know if we have that everyone.
Take your time. Hold.
Hold for
Chert
joke.
is truly the Tallow Crafar of the book 4 of Guardians of the Moon.
Very nice. Tallow Crafar was the assassin in the first part of Darujistan who died right
Who
away.
got killed who got killed in Kurul's Belfry by. We now know who the magic assassins from the sky are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I
Oh
should
my
have
God.
seen that coming.
No, I'll wait.
So
I'm really excited about something that we learned in this book, and I can't wait to share it.
I thought of you
We're
when
almost
I
there.
read this.
we're almost there.
I was like, that's Boo. Boo called this.
Kalam. So I don't know why, but I have had this scene stuck in my head since I read this book for the first time, like 6 years ago at this point.
Wow.
When I don't know why, but it's when Kalam and Quick Ben are just in that weird little shack. I thought
When
like,
they're
it's
talking
such
about like
a
yeah.
I was like, I can picture this so exactly in my head. Like, this is the perfect amount of description for this place. Like, I am totally and it's nothing. It's just I don't know why, but this really stuck in my head.
Too.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
interesting.
because it's like rain is like creeping
Yeah,
into.
I was
the
like,
thing.
I just remember it being damp. I think maybe it was the feeling of being uncomfortable.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
And
doing
being
something
Well,
like
and, like-
preparing to do something insane, and they're both like, "Boy, we don't want to have to do this at all."
and if I don't make it back, you're just gonna have to kill me. I'm
Yep.
like, that's you know what? That's
Well,
kind of
and
fun.
like they're so like you can tell they have such a history with each other because
Yeah,
you don't
they
really.
have-
I don't
they're
think
good friends.
You really got that sense
No.
of between these two characters before.
I think purposely you're not supposed to know much about them. Like again, Quick Ben, I'm like, I can't wait to find out more about him.
Boy,
and then
do
this
we.
is the real scene where you're like, okay, now I get to find something out about these guys.
And I had the first time I read this, I have this is the original edition that I read. It's sort of this is the scene where I'm like, oh, they're not like afraid of dying.
Yeah.
They just like know that it might happen, and like they're like, we're gonna do the things we have to do, and then if we die, okay. Which was I was like,
Yeah.
huh, because I had always sort of read books where like I guess the soldiers don't want to die, where like their main goal is to be like, how do we not die? Whereas this feels different in a way.
Yeah.
At least of the stuff that I'd read
Well, 'cause, like,
previously.
I think if I knew what was going to happen after death, I also wouldn't be that afraid. Like they know
He's-
Hood's.
he's
They're
been
going to go
there.
through
you talk
Hood's
to a guy.
gate.
That's a good.
They're
point.
going to go through Hood's
I guess
gate.
do they
and
know
that's it.
it's like real?
I think
Or
Quick
they
Ben
have
has to know. Maybe Kalam
Yeah.
doesn't. Like Quick Ben could say like I visited there, but Kalam just like or Quick Ben sits on the ground in some sticks and like slumps over and then wakes up and he's like I've learned some information. Like okay,
Yeah, I guess,
Well,
I guess if
yeah.
you knew people in life who were like, yeah, I have hell powers.
yeah.
And sometimes and my boss can go there and talk to the devil. You'd be like, so I'm pretty sure that place is real.
But it, like also in the book, the loyalty and like duty is a really big theme, and it's like they're loyal to the cause regardless of how it affects them, because like they understand that they're fighting for something beyond them, right? And so it's like if I fall for this cause, like it's going to be worth it.
I think if there were like 30,000 gods and I could just make somebody into a puppet by soul shifting something and that puppet was crazy, I'd be like, I don't care either.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah.
well.
The world is so crazy that like
I'd be
death is
floating
nothing
through
to
life.
But
me.
it's remarkable that there's still tension when we know that
Yeah.
like we've already had people die and come back to life. Like
Yeah, Perrin.
we know anybody could be saved through some magical means, and yet there is still tension. Like
And then
when somebody-
Kalam gets stabbed. You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's a bad wound.
Because at this point in the book, you're like, oh yeah, Kalam could die. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, why?
Why not?
1,000% could die. We go to the bar where all of our friends are hanging out and drinking.
Again.
Now this scene is pointless
Hell
except for
yeah.
the one thing that Cole says at the very end of it, where they talk about how maybe Darujistan has made some sort of alliance with Moonspawn, and then Crocus said, "Who like lives in Moonspawn?" And then Cole says, 5 black dragons.
You have no idea how thrilled I was to learn that my social justice warrior was a dragon.
What?
Talk about Animander Ray.
Yes.
Your social justice
Okay.
warrior.
He's my- yes.
Yeah.
All I could picture was how did that night go?
Why did you just call Animander Rake a social justice warrior?
Because he fights for freedom.
Okay. Just so
I mean,
you
he's
know,
like on
like
the internet.
in
He's
the
not like
internet,
pro-
like colloquially.
Yeah.
That's like a right-wing dog whistle.
No. No.
Animander Rake isn't protesting Mayo Yiannopoulos at our local university.
No, I mean it in the sense that he fights for justice across
He's like
the
a freedom
world.
fighter.
He's like
He
a,
is a
yeah.
freedom fighter.
Yeah.
And he's also, I mean, you were right. I mean,
He's a dragon.
He's
he
part
might
dragon.
Be. He might
But
be.
he
He's
has
a
dragon
dragon.
blood.
He might
Dude,
be.
no wonder they're all shit terrified of him. He's a fucking dragon. He can bite your head off with his big teeth and put you in a
And,
scary
and he has
sword.
a certain sword that we do learn about later. That's also pretty
Terrifying
scary.
sword.
If he could breathe fire, that would be really fun. I could only think about
can-
how the hell did that night go? Like, what breeding situation must have happened? I'm
I mean,
He's born
spit
of
out this
Mother
guy.
Dark or
well,
whatever.
I guess we
So
don't know how one gets the blood of dragons in them. I think there's
It's
maybe,
like the
maybe
Hulk. He
multiple
bleeds
ways.
into your
Yeah.
blood, and then you
I don't know,
become
who
the
knows?
dragon.
Who knows?
Yeah, you go to the blood bank and get a transfusion.
And the dragon one is so expensive.
Yeah, it's like 10 million Daruja stand.
oh,
That is
Credits.
something I really appreciate, that we don't get some fucking stupid name for Darujistan money.
currency. You don't
Yeah.
I
like
think
the
there
currency
is
thing?
one. I think there is one.
I didn't notice anything that made
I
me
don't know
There's
if
a
it's
mad.
a
coin.
point.
They
Called
tie
credits,
That's the
dollars?
whole thing.
No,
the
they
whole
don't
point
say
of the
it.
book.
But it's not. There's no weird way of doing time.
Yep.
Yeah, no, weird way of doing time in this book for sure.
Oh, one thing I think is fun. Wait, no, sorry. That's later when he's in the sword. This is the last bit of this section. Quick Ben, he slumps over and he's traveling through the warrens of chaos. And he keeps like doing these like super high magic commands just to be able to like walk through them. And Hairlock was in there like once and went insane. And so Quick Ben is like, I've been here
Just
before. I
going
know the
through.
doorways. This is
Yep.
no big deal. He enters the realm of shadow. And he says, do you have the exact quote of what he says?
Yes, it's on the page 272.
I have it. Shadow Throne, Lord of Shadows, I am come to your realm. Will you receive my presence as befits a peaceful visitor? From the hills came an answer, the howling of hounds.
Awesome.
So no, this part
Tough.
was so
Tough.
epic. I was like,
Yeah.
anything that Quick Ben and Kalam do, I'm like all into it, except for the one part in this next section when they're flying around. But other than that, I'm like, these two are awesome. I care about them, and this Quick Ben is cool as
Yeah,
fuck.
he is.
Yeah.
He is cool as shit, man.
And you're like, they have a Quick Ben on this side? How do they not win everything? But then the other side has like a dust zombie
Yeah.
with an
Yeah.
immortal dust zombie. You're like, okay, I think it balances out.
And our side has Krupp.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're on the side of the Phoenix Inn.
Yeah.
Which we're screwed.
All right,
So
nerd interlude.
Ooh.
The local currency of Drudistan is a council.
I like that. I don't
Mhm.
hate that because they're controlled by the High Council. You know?
I'm indifferent about that.
Drudistan Council. Like people will say like 4 councils or whatever. No, this is AI. Historically, the exchange rate against the standard jacata used in the neighboring city of Pale was roughly 2 1/3 jacatas to 1 council.
None of that can be right or based in
It's
anything.
referenced on the Malazan wiki. Let's see.
At what point would a character sit down and say that you could edit a wiki? Is like one of these like ancillary novels just the worst, most boring book of all
well, they
time?
explain what happened to the city planner and why Whiskey Jack
You
is
gotta
doing
read it.
construction.
Yeah, one of the Esselmont novels. It's right after Return of the Crimson Guard. It's Return of the City Planner.
If it's a tax book, I will read it.
You
Dude,
will,
I
yeah,
wish
I'll
there
read
was
that.
It'd be the Silmarillion of the series.
That was
Somebody
the
who
nerdiest thing
has
you've ever said.
somebody who
It might be the Silmarillion of the series.
yeah.
my God.
Yeah. That's tough.
That may be something that AI has made up. Wait,
It has to be. It has to be
Wait,
thinking
wait.
that that's a real country.
a couple months after include the so this is on the Malazan wiki. The exchange rate with Pale's jacatas was 2 1/3 jacatas to 1 council, including the 1 council broker fee.
Oh,
What?
The broker fee.
That has to
Oh,
be just like
Apparently,
Krupp just
it's
says
in
that
Memories
one
of
time.
Ice, Chapter 2.
No, it is not. I would have remembered.
So
Okay, we're
funny.
gonna keep an eye out for
Yep.
the exchange rate between the Pale.
I
Jacata
promise
and the
Memories of Ice
Darujistan
is a better
Council.
book than the currency exchange.
If they talk about broker fees,
They
I'm
don't.
all
I
in.
swear to you, they don't.
no, I'd be interested in that, and then I'd love to hear
No.
more about the structure
Memories
of
of
the local government.
Memories of the city comptroller.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have a few thoughts from this chapter that I would like to share.
Oh.
So right away at the beginning, we like have this crazy flashback, and then we like have all these ancient species, and I really like that. I think having it grounded in like ancientness, like oldness, and ancient species helps a lot with the perspective and like the point that he's trying to make about empire, because you're like, everything is so old and people have been doing this forever and ever and ever. Like the Talani Moss just started doing this and now it's been passed on or whatever. And it makes it seem futile and stupid. And so you're like, what Empress Lucine is doing feels smaller and stupid and futile, like Toole said, where he's like, it's futile or whatever.
And he would know.
And he would know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that people like don't care. And so it's like
Yeah.
people just trying, like Whiskey Jack and Quick Ben, like they're all just trying to do the best they can in a fucked up world.
And specifically,
Yeah.
like our boys, the I guess none of them know this yet, but Whiskey Jack and Dude Jack are planning to do like a big rebellion.
And it's so
and then Whiskey
funny
Jack is
bone
not
phone.
telling them that.
Yeah.
But they're like, we're planting mines. I promise it's not to help Lucine, but you just gotta plant the mines.
Yeah.
We're just doing something. We're playing 4D chess.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And they're happy to do it.
They are happy to do it.
I
Except
do like
later
that.
in the next section, they play a weird card game, but we'll talk about that.
And I also just had some questions, some thoughts I wrote down that are maybe rhetorical.
Oh.
But maybe they're
A
not.
rhetorical thought. Hit me with it.
Rhetorical
Take
thought.
out your journal.
But
This
you
is
can
your
also
journaling
respond.
prompt.
You can also respond.
Hmm,
So I'll read them
interesting.
all and then you can respond. How much do the actions of individuals matter in a world where gods are involved? And if it comes, or wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Can you have freedom in a world with interfering gods? Is that why humans make the empire? Because they want to have some sense of control over a world where the gods are controlling their lives.
And we'll
You know,
see,
I will say I'm pretty impressed by the fact that the humans are like, whatever, I'm going to do my best to like just live my life and ignore all this stuff.
Because they're not gods in the sense of like the Christian God.
They're like
this-
Greek gods. Like they have their domain.
I think they're even like less powerful than Greek gods. They're just super powerful, like normal people.
yeah,
I think
like
is-
ascended. Some of them are.
Yeah, some of them.
There are some that are like they don't really come down to earth and don't exist, and they're so like they're so synonymous with like their thing that like they might as well not exist. But then there's like Shadow Throne, who's like a guy who cackles on a
Or
throne.
Opon. Perrin just picks him up and he's like,
Perrin calls him.
yeah, yeah.
But you can do that with Greek gods. You can call them on
Yeah, I
the
guess.
coin phone. That's how you call Iris. You make a rainbow, you throw a coin in it.
Is that true?
Mhm.
You make a rainbow and you throw a coin in
Or
it.
like you find a rainbow in the water and you throw a coin
And you've
in
done
it.
this?
I've done this. Yeah.
Interesting.
She's really nice.
She's
She's
You-
really
you-
chill.
and to call Athena, you dial a book.
You dial a book. That's right. You
and to
call
call
the
Zeus, you
call the
dial
index.
a lightning bolt.
You
And
get
then
struck
Athena
by
bursts
lightning.
out, she bursts out of your skull.
storm.
Yeah.
So you don't ever get to talk to her because she bursts out of
She
your
bursts
skull
out of your
and
skull
kills
and
you.
kills you.
And you die.
But you get the impression that like Animander Rake, if you did just stab him, he would die.
Yeah.
He
It's
doesn't
just
feel
hard
like a
to
god
stab
like
him.
the other guys, though.
And he'd like find
Well,
a
I think
healer.
it's
Yeah,
I
because-
I
think
agree,
about
Shelby.
Cruel. Cruel feels
Well,
like
because
a
he's
god.
an elder god.
Oh,
They're different.
because he's an elder god.
He's like
so
a
it's
god from like
fine,
300,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But exactly. So like
But
there's
yeah,
these
that
elder
still
gods
exists.
who control your life still too a little
And
bit.
you're still like, whatever, okay,
Yeah.
man. And then there's this other level. Okay.
And we're
again,
about to learn about another god.
Yeah. And then there's
in the
all.
next
So
section.
at this point, you're like, there's so many levels and rules. It doesn't matter.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think I would be pretty numb to it. I'd be like,
sort
okay.
of case by case.
In
Yeah.
nerd discussions, there's always this thing about power scaling. It's like who would win in a fight?
An alligator or a
Batman
bear?
or you would be like, no, you'd be like Superman or Homelander from The Boys.
Right.
And like, oh, who's got like the bigger powers and stuff? And always that's stupid. And usually the argument comes from comic books where it's like, oh, well, it happens a lot in the comic book Invincible. We're like, oh, well, he managed to beat this guy who seems way more powerful than this other guy, yet this other guy was like kicking his ass. So how does that make any sense? I think a good solution to that is you do this, where you just make, there's a million gods, sort of anybody can become a god. And all it really is, it seems to me, gives you the ability to teleport somewhere quickly and like be annoying. Because like,
Well, but like Opon influences parents' decisions
but that's like
in his
Opon's
mind.
thing. Opon as the guy just gets picked up and threatened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like they're still influencing your choices and your like autonomy because they're interfering in like your life and your
yeah.
brain.
Yeah. I think that's really just Opon's thing, though. It's
I
not
don't
all
know.
of them.
Well, we don't know.
I think a lot of that stuff will become.
There is some
maybe
wise tale
clearer.
stuff
Yeah.
though, because I do like that they're like, oh yeah, I got that advice that one time of like, the passed down of like, don't follow your instincts or like be grounded or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like the wise tales of like, if this happens to you,
Well, and
Yeah.
everyone keeps saying
Yeah.
power draws power. Like the
Yeah.
fact that Opon decided to meddle in Darujistan, like now means that Animander Rake is gonna show up with his sword and kill your pets.
Yeah, and but Cotillion, the god of assassins, has to like take human form.
Yeah, he like can't do it on.
He
it
can't
just
do it
be
by
him.
himself. He has to take
But
like
that's
human
like
form
Greek
and be
gods
suspicious.
too. Like they send
Yeah.
humans on quests or they like use humans for their own purposes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like Shadow Throne is using human beings for his own purposes. Opon is using human
does
beings
feel
for his
very
own
Greek
They're,
god.
purposes.
I
but,
feel-
but they're
I agree.
limited by the human beings. Like there are things gods can't do, and so they need to use mortals for, and that causes problems because mortals cause problems.
Percy Jackson set me up for success for this.
Hell yeah.
Because that's the conflict. It's like
so true.
the who needs each other more? Do the gods need us more or do we need them more?
And I think
So
that's a pretty
true.
big thesis
Yeah. I
statement of
love
this
that
book too.
too.
is
Yeah,
Especially
like,
because
who needs each other-
Karul,
yeah.
like all his followers died off,
And so
just
he
the
died.
only reason
Powerless.
he's
God,
back.
Kroll toll car or whatever died in the belfry.
Yeah.
We get to hang out with Cruel for a little bit.
I love that he has the crocodile name from Mario. K. Rool.
Oh, for yes.
I think about it every time I go, that man's a crocodile.
He's like,
I hadn't thought of that one time.
I thought I made a. I
Oh,
thought
you
I
did
made,
in the
I
very
made a joke
first
about it on one
episode.
of the episodes.
I think I might have missed it, but it's
That's
a good
okay.
joke, Danilo,
Thanks.
and Danilo is a very humorous person.
Wow,
Thanks.
thank you. Thank you for saying that.
I was going to say something else while we were talking about that, but I forgot.
All
That's
this to say, if I was living in a world where gods were just left and right, and I could become one if I had enough followers on Instagram, and also
True.
like I knew what was going to happen after death, I think I'd just be floating. I'd
You'd
be
also
like,
chill.
You'd also just
whatever.
be at a bar.
I
Yeah,
would
and
be
you
at
like
a
wouldn't
bar.
care if you died a little
I think
bit.
the, like
I
the
would
gods,
be Cole. I
Yeah.
would be drunk. I would be at a bar. I would be Cole and Krupus. I'd be eating. I'd be at a Krupus.
I
I'd
love
be
it when you
stealing
call
shit.
them Krupus. I'd love to see you
I'd
do
be at a bar.
short. What do you call it? Close-up magic,
Oh,
stealing
yeah.
fruit.
Yeah, I'd be stealing.
It seems to me to be an impossible thing to be able to do, no? Is walk through a market and not suspiciously catch an apple. Why are the apples in the air? You know
Yeah,
what I
he's
mean?
using
Like, why are so many candies flying through the air?
But he's just cute, you know. He's just
I
doing his
guess.
cute
Have an
thing.
I'll take your word for it. So you think Krupp is a cute wizard, and you think Tool is a cute oppressor?
Yeah, yeah.
I was really
oppressor.
thinking
Opon
Tool would
wrestler.
have a
Upon
smaller
wrestler.
role.
Upon wrestler.
Oh my gosh.
Upon the wrestler.
And Perrin is an Opon wrestler.
I meant to.
Ding ding ding.
I meant to say cute wizard.
Cute
I said oppressor
wizard?
twice, I think.
Who's a cute wizard?
Krupp.
Krupp? Yeah, he's just like an adorable little guy.
Yeah.
He's the one I don't mind reading about because I'm like, okay, I know what I'm gonna get.
I just hate that he talks like The Rock. I can never get over it. The third
Can you
person
smell
really
what
drives me
Krupp
crazy.
is cooking?
It's an apple from a market floating into his sleeve. That's what he's cooking. Should we read some history about this world from a book that Krupp's reading in a book?
Yes.
Yes, please.
And in the calling down to earth, the god was crippled, and so chained in its place. In the calling down, many lands were sundered by the god's fists, and things were born, and things were released. Chained and crippled was this god, and it bred caution in the unveiling of its powers. The crippled god bred caution, but not well enough, for the powers of the earth came to it in the end. Chained was the crippled god, and so chained it was destroyed. And upon this barren plain that imprisoned the crippled god, many gathered to the deed. Hood, gray wanderer of death, was among the gathering, as was Decembre, then Hood's warrior. Though it was here and in this time that Decembre shattered the bonds Hood held upon him. Also among the gathering were... And then Krupp gets bored and flips through the pages, and then he
That
finds
is
some
somebody
names he
who's
wanted.
trying to meet a word count on an essay. All I've got to say.
Krupp is you
I've read
reading
those.
Shelby. Krupp is you reading this book with
No,
the podcast.
literally,
You're
I was
flipping
like,
through
oh my God.
Branchol, blah, blah, blah. And among those that came from the vaulted heavens of silver, the Taistandi, dwellers of darkness in the place before light, black dragons numbering 5, and in their league sailed red-winged Silana, said to dwell among the Taistandi in their fang of darkness,
Oh.
descending from the vaulted heavens of silver.
Now, I'll tell
And
you
it keeps
this.
going.
You got to remember the crippled god.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Well,
because
the
the last
10th
book of
book
the
is called The
series,
Crippled
that's
God.
I've seen
It might be.
Danilo read it, and I was.
It
and,
might be called
and
that.
I've heard him go a lot, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
Because he's being choked to death.
Yeah, because I was like, shut the fuck up, you know.
Stop reading behind and take out the trash.
I love shit like this. I love epic poems about the past. That's why I love all the poems up at the beginning, even though sometimes it seems like they're written in the present.
You fuck with the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner pretty hard.
I
huh?
fuck with the Rhyme of the Ancient. I've actually never read that, but
Ancient Mariner? Is that what
Yeah.
it's called? Yeah.
I haven't read that.
Albatross
Yeah,
around the
yeah, yeah.
neck.
But I like the bird, the albatross.
Mhm.
Regardless,
Amen.
this shit was cool as hell. I'm excited to learn more about this because I love the scale of it. I love that it's like, I don't know, the way it is.
Hood was there at the imprisoning or the gathering.
The
Well,
chaining-
and
the chaining.
December
The
was
chaining.
his servant or
Of the
whatever,
god.
and then she became. I
Yes,
thought she was
okay,
a woman.
and now
No, it's
I
December.
just clocked her.
It's Hood, December, and Hood's
Salo-
warrior.
What's Salone?
Oh.
Or no, then
No,
Hood's warrior.
December.
You're right. Yeah, yeah. Then
December
Hood's
was
warrior.
then Hood's warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hood, December is the Lord of Tragedy.
But then
Oh.
there's Salone.
We're gonna
Selena,
keep
yeah.
his
Salone?
name in mind.
Solana.
Solana, because I was like,
She's a red dragon.
oh wait a second, She comes up.
He does. Animator Rick does mention her later.
She's, I think, a big part
He's
of
like, she'd
the
rip
later
my head
stuff.
off if I came home late. Might as well be what he says.
And they're freaking no wonder so this is when we read the description of the Thai standee, I was like, is this good? Like, is this okay? And now I know why. It's because they're literally dragons.
Well, not all of them.
Well, we don't know. We'll find out.
But it's just like, no wonder people were like, thank God they're gone, you know? Because they're terrifying dragons.
Yeah, I mean, they're also like immortal obsidian warriors who live in a moon.
But isn't that what we all want?
What do you mean when you said you were worried that it wasn't good?
Well, they describe a black character and they're like, and everybody hated him and they were glad they were gone. And
but
I
there
was
are,
like,
yes,
I
but there
didn't
are
understand
like
what was going
people
on.
of color in the story who characters don't feel that way about. They're like
Yeah,
dark,
like Kalam and Quick Ben.
yeah, they're like dark
right.
elves.
But I don't think we had met them yet. And it
Sure.
was just a weird thing. And it just like one sentence was a little weird. And I was like, what? But then I understood they literally mean obsidian, like you
Jet
said.
black skin.
Yeah. And it's because they're this
From-
other race. Yeah. So it's all
They're
good.
very tall and they're magic and they can fly.
And I want to kiss him on the mouth.
And they're moody.
Boy, do I.
They're very moody.
Who doesn't love him? It's literally who doesn't love a moody man?
You have
dark
no
and
idea.
big
You have
glass of water.
if you're feeling this now, you have no idea.
Can I just say, we were at a family birthday party event, and Danil's laughing, and
Oh my god.
Danil was on his phone with all the family, and I look over,
scrolling
and
on
he's
Reddit.
looking at a sultry photo.
That's right,
Send it in the chat.
a photograph.
A photo of the real guy.
I was on Reddit and it was a
And I
Malazan
was like,
fan
you
art,
need
and I
to
clicked it
put
open,
that
and then
away.
it was like Animander Rake, and then right then Shelby looked over and said, "Oh my god!"
You need to put that
Drop it in the chat.
away.
Drop it in the
It
chat.
was the art by the guy who did our logo.
Oh, fantastic.
Santiago.
I'm not to say it wasn't cute, but I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we are not at
Yeah,
a
and that's
point
what
right
I
now
jerk
where-
off to. At
Yeah,
night.
we're with my family. We're in public.
Thank you.
for
I
admitting
jerked
that.
off,
Somewhere else
for
in the
later.
bathroom at
He
your
has
family.
to excuse himself.
Save that for later.
I have to go. I'm Secret Hitler. I have to go now.
All right. There's a lot of stuff in this chapter where, like Max said, it's people talking in rooms and it's not super important. Does anyone have anything they want to say like that happens? I know Quick Ben, the important thing is Quick Ben and Shadow Throne
Yeah,
make a deal.
which we'll get to.
I learned that alchemists use warrens too. I didn't realize they had the same kind of magic. I thought it might be different. That's all.
I just wrote, love the quick bend plan. And then Krupp said, look to the streets. And I thought that was pretty good.
They all
Smart.
talk about basically Baruch sends Krupp and company out to the Godrobi Hills to like see what's happening because they think they know about this whole jagged tyrant business. That might be what's happening.
But yeah, let's talk about Shadow Throne.
Quick Ben is in the Warren of Shadow.
I
Oh,
love.
I did
this.
like this scene.
The Shadow Palace looks really cool.
Yeah.
It's like smoky
It's very
glass
dramatic.
with no door, and then he can like walk through it. He has all the hounds of Shadow come and escort him. They're all, I have to remember, they're all different colors.
oh,
They're
The-
like
the
a gray
dogs.
one,
Yeah.
there's a tan one, there's one that's
blind
white,
one.
there's someone that's blind.
I did think they were all
Her
like
name is
black shadowy
Blind.
kind of thing.
They're all different colors. One is gray, one is blind.
I always because I always imagine them as like gray,
So
sort
do
of
I.
like big gray
Shadows.
bulldogs.
Yeah.
But I think they're like
Oh,
shaggier. They're
bulldogs.
more like wolves.
Okay, let's all say what kind of breed of
I
dog we
imagine
thought
they're
Yeah,
like-
no,
this
we
was.
should. We
You
should. We
thought
should.
it was a bulldog?
I kind of did
like,
too. A pit bull.
or
A
like,
pit bull.
like Rottweilers. Like I thought they were
Yeah.
like big Rottweilers.
I agree.
And like
That is also how
juicing
I
at the
think.
mouth.
I pictured the werewolves from Twilight.
That's probably the most accurate way of thinking about
Shelby,
them.
that's
Actually,
beautiful.
That's but it was the
Oh,
big
yeah.
black. It was Sam's dog from Twilight. His
picture of a-
werewolf.
this is just a
That's what I
picture of a dog.
pictured.
That's
Now look
gear.
Now look up Sam from Twilight werewolf, and you'll see that I'm actually.
Danilo's gonna have to
Sam.
excuse himself to the bathroom again.
Twilight. My
Werewolf.
fingers just started typing Animander Rake naked.
Don't put that away. Where's my family?
We should commission that for
See,
the podcast.
that's what I pictured.
Oh yeah, big black dog.
But because I was
Wait,
like, but maybe
let's
that's kind of
see it.
see-through-y almost because they're like shadows.
That is a black
Oh, I like them both.
That shirtless guy?
I could see both.
Though I think the Hounds of Shadow are probably slightly smaller.
1,000% what I pictured.
Are they
'Cause
not huge?
They're
They're dog
they
shaped?
keep
like
they
size?
keep saying they're the size of a mule.
Yeah. Okay, so
which
they're
is
not-
like big, but they're not taller than a person.
right.
But they
small
are.
horse.
But they're also magic, so they'll kill you. And their teeth are very sharp. That's important for
Famously
everyone to know.
blunt
Their
teeth.
teeth are very sharp.
They are.
Famously blunt teeth. Just a flat row like a beaver. And they fall out, so they have to eat enough people to make
That's
sure
why
they
there's no
don't grow too
trees
long.
in the Warren of Shadow. It's because all these dogs are beavers.
And they don't say that. That's some intertextual stuff.
Shadow
have to
Throne
figure
is
that
like Rude built another dam. Shadow Throne loves deals.
He
Mm-hmm.
does. He's
And
like
so-
Trump in that way.
Shadow Throne, the art of the deal. Quick, Ben.
You're fired.
You're fired.
Quick Ben makes a deal. He's like, okay, your dogs want to kill my puppet. We want our puppet dead. I will tell you where the puppet is, and then you will send the dogs. And that's our plan.
And also leave us alone.
Oh, yes, leave us alone.
Yeah, that's part
You
of it.
need me
Leave
alive
me
to know where the puppet's
Yeah.
going to be. I thought that
Mhm.
was fun.
And I felt really good reading this because I was like, oh, I was right. The dog is going to eat the puppet.
Yeah, I remember your prediction.
Yeah, so that was cool. And this whole
There's
thing
hot dog on puppet action
was
in
so
this section.
I love it when Quick Ben is doing stuff. I'm
Yeah.
all in
Yeah.
on that. And we learned a little bit about him.
We learn that Shadow Throne might know who he is, and his name is not Quick Ben.
Delot.
Delot.
You shape-shifting bastard. He smiled. He'd done it again.
He done it again.
He done did it again,
I think
folks.
that's awesome.
It's
Because
so
you're like,
cool.
who's Quick Ben? And then you're like, he's pranked Shadow Throne before?
He's another baddie. Another
got
baddie for the
pranked.
books.
I think it's fun. We learn a little bit later his name is Ben Adeafundalot. So
Mhm.
he's sort of doing a Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi situation where he's going to keep part of his name. But
But it's because he
change
can
most
get
of it.
away with it. He's like, I tricked you once.
No,
I
it's
Also,
can
he
do
because
it
calls-
the guy in
again."
Malaz City named him Quick Ben.
That's true. That is
The
true.
soldier.
I think he calls him a shape-shifting bastard.
The what's this? The word styrofoam.
Solitaken?
Solitaken.
Solitaken? Styrofoam? He's,
Yeah, the Tattersail in the next book is going to be styrofoam.
She's a bunch of packing peanuts.
well, he might
He
not be.
shapeshifts into a styrofoam, a giant packing peanut.
Hurry!
No, but you don't understand. It's the size of a mule.
If we can have a walking marionette, we can have a walking,
walking packing
packing
peanut.
peanut.
Oh no, they soul shifted me into a packing peanut. That packing peanut's going crazy.
Oh, wrong address.
Your dog can.
I'm halfway across the country.
If you leave us alone, your dog can eat my packing peanut.
We were supposed to go to the Warren of Duris.
I wish I were in the word of Albuquerque.
This is Phoenix. Oh, packing peanut, you're such a card.
That would probably be my second favorite character. If there
I
was
would
one.
kill to see a walking packing
I think it's funny because that is not unlike some of the other demons we meet in this series.
Yeah, true. There's gonna be some goofballs.
Anything else to say about Quick Ben and Shadow Throne?
I just really liked the plan. I thought it was super fun and sneaky.
Yeah.
When they said shapeshifter, I thought maybe he had shapeshifted himself while he was there to look different because they didn't recognize him.
Maybe, but he didn't. It didn't. The book didn't tell us that he did that.
yeah, so I was like this whole time maybe, but I don't know. So I know that he's kind of a sneaky little guy. I think I've always known he was a sneaky guy, and I'm right. And I love
You
when
are.
I'm right. So.
And he would have had to have shapeshifted for Shadow Throne not to recognize him. So either before, like after he left or whatever, or when he's coming back, he would have had to
because
be
I'm
a
like,
different
is
shape.
this his true form then? The one that we've been seeing where he's with Whiskey Jack, or us?
No,
I don't know
we'll
what his
see.
true form is.
I don't know.
And it takes balls to shapeshift in front of the guy who's in charge of the Warren, where you do all the illusions.
True.
Yeah.
True. Just wait till he shapeshifts
We
into his
learned
true form.
A packing.
I love you. If there's a video clip of this at some point, Max packing peanut is just embracing his arms and falling down.
Packing Peanut Ben.
So that's been that was very fun.
And
We also
and
learned
Trots
what
becomes an envelope.
Yeah. yes.
Not
learned
a
what a
box.
high priest
Postmaster
was.
General Whiskey Jack.
They're all sort
Oh.
of male adjacent shapeshifters.
But
What were you
did
gonna
what-
say,
we
Shelby?
learned what a high priest was, which I think like stuff is gonna. I mean, that stuff. I think that stuff is gonna come back again. But I do think that there's high priests in different areas later on in the book, and I do like I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I read that and I was like, huh? I don't know what that. How important are you?
It sounds pretty high up.
Sounds
there.
pretty high up.
And potential tension or some relationship between high priests and their gods.
Yeah, like
maybe,
how much
maybe they're not
control
always
and
aligned.
power do they
Yeah.
have, and like what is
How much do they get from their god?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
why would you
We
be
need
a high
priest in the next book. That's
yeah, why
that's
would
pretty
you need
fun.
a high priest? If
And
you're a
why
god?
would you want to be one?
Yeah.
You know?
It's a job, man. The market's crazy.
Power.
But yeah, magic
Power
power.
draws.
I got to pay for these gas prices somehow.
But why did Quick Ben pick Shadow Throne? I think that's fascinating.
I
I'm
don't
also
know.
interested in that, Shelby. They
I mean,
do
I
know.
do know, but I.
But I'm
definitely
also
know.
I'm thinking about the same thing. I'm like, what is it about him, and like why?
So in this world of multiple gods, I can just
You
like
just-
pick
you just
which
like
one
some.
I like the most, and then be like, yeah, I'll be a priest for you.
Well, I think when you're a magic user, you sort of are attracted to like one war. You have like a propensity for one Warren.
Yeah, but why Shadow Throne?
But Quick Ben seems to be something different. So he has a lot of Warrens. He can
He's
go
a
between the
dog.
Warrens in through chaos, and it's barely inconvenient for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he's
pretty
cool.
cool.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Kalam and Quick Ben try to make contact with the Assassin's Guild, and so together they get Ralik Nam's attention, and that's sort of where the section ends.
Yeah, they.
Because like all the other scenes are just people talking about what's happening, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And long story short, Kalam and Quick Ben are trying to meet up with Assassin's Guild, and then Krupp takes the crew, and they're gonna go on a hike.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Kalam walks into the Phoenix Inn and to get made by Ralik, and then Ralik goes and talks to Ocelot, and they're like, okay, we follow him to the warehouse, and then there's like, okay, and then
I
they
did
do.
think that part was a little convoluted. Like,
It is.
okay.
It's
I do like
silly.
that he
like,
goes to the kitchen though, because I'm like, that's pretty badass. If I had the power to just walk through the kitchen of a bar, I would feel like the coolest person in the world. Max just covered his
pick up
eyes
a-
and put his head on the
I
table.
really feel like you could do that today if you wanted to.
No, they tell her to get
No,
out.
but like, yeah,
No,
they
but
would
you
tell me
ask,
to
you're
get
like,
out.
can I walk through your
No, I
my
wouldn't
car's
ask.
out there. I
No,
just
but
might
the
go-
point
Make-A-Wish.
is that I am just accepted as powerful and I can walk
Like
through the
that
kitchen.
is power to me.
So you
Yeah.
want to be a regular at a restaurant,
and that is and what you said, power to you.
yeah. So
a regular or maybe like a host.
I don't need a high
You
priest,
wanna
but
work
if
in a
I
restaurant.
could, if I could be like, I'm gonna walk through that back door of like
Oh my god.
Perkins.
I
And
would
nobody
do.
says anything. They just say,
Perkins,
"What's up,
beautiful
Shelby?
restaurant.
yeah.
Hey, Shelby, want a pancake,
They
That's
wanna
Shelby?"
not
make
even
a
what they
joke.
say to Ralik.
No, but they were about to, and then they saw how serious he was, and then they were like, "Oh, we won't."
I
mess
can
with him right now."
guarantee you, if you seriously walked through a kitchen and like fake somebody out, they wouldn't tell you to
dressed
leave.
as an
I don't
assassin
think
with
dressed-
big
I
knives.
would
Yeah.
say. I
No,
think they
if you
would.
had a big if you walked into a kitchen with a rifle, they're not going to tell you to do anything.
But here's the thing.
And you just walk out the back door, they'll be like, "We didn't see that." They keep making pancakes.
Because this is at a
But
Perkins.
then he comes back like they were going to talk to him. I don't know. I just thought that was the most powerful scene in the whole book.
No, and I get that.
What's the most powerful? Like
Because it's the small
Emotionally.
thing. It's the small things, right?
You're
It's
like,
the small influence.
now
Whiskey
I
Jack would never.
I respected Ralik so much more after I wrote this.
That's so funny.
He just walked through that back door,
he didn't give a fuck.
and then he came back, and they were like, "Yeah."
The only other thing
Okay.
that was taken away from this is when Quick Ben comes back and he's chatting with Kalam, and he's like, "Oh, how many high priests burn the robes of their vestment?" And Quick Ben is like, "Not enough, if you ask me. Without temples and priests, the gods' bloody meddling couldn't touch the mortal realm."
Hell yeah.
So it's like they need the people to be their priests. So why would somebody be a priest and cede control of their life to a god? Why would the humans give them the power to control their lives?
I don't know. I want to tell you so bad. but-
Don't
Turns out
tell
it's
me, though.
actually a shitty job.
Yeah, it sucks, and they should all burn their robes. I'm with Quick Ben. He's also an abolitionist, just like my other guy, Dragonhead. What's his fucking name? Animander Rake.
Animander Dragonhead Rake. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about
Where
the
are we?
big assassin off on the warehouse.
Oh.
It sounds like David Hasselhoff, assassin off,
David Assassinhoff.
on the roof of this warehouse, which basically the assassins.
Well, hang on.
Oh.
We got to talk about the spell.
I'm
Okay.
so pissed off.
Where Quick Ben's the little dot.
I have been very, and our other podcast, you may not listen to Hardcover Hooligans, but I have been very critical of some people writing scenes in books that feel like video games. And if I'm going to say it about those books, I have to say it here. The fact that he gets a magical upgrade to be able to see magic items in the world, I just think there's a hat on a hat going on here with me. I don't understand why Kalam gets the ability to float. I understand why Quick Ben is invisible and can fly because he has to fight there might be like a wizard who could fly.
No.
But the whole thing in my head, I'm like, boy, this is quite silly. It does not feel to me intentionally silly.
It's a movie action scene.
Yeah,
well,
it doesn't work for me.
Why did they
because
have
there's
to be
been no
invisible
action
and fly?
scenes in this whole book.
Especially, and this is reading very far ahead, the action scenes in the rest of the book are not like this. Like,
Yeah.
this is ridiculous.
Well,
I
it was
did not
just-
care for this
Yeah.
assassin.
they
fight
call
in
it
the
a
slightest.
set piece.
Yes, literally.
it
This
really
is a set
is,
piece.
yeah.
It was indulgent. It was unnecessary for him to be both invisible and flying.
I think you're jealous.
I was like, this is ridiculous. If it was just like he can float a little
And
bit,
then it doesn't matter because they attack him and see him
And they
and
can see
shoot
him
it,
anyway.
stab him anyway.
and you're like, if he could just float a little bit, that'd be cute and funny. I'd be like, oh, ha, 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 he's floating. Ha, ha. But then also he's invisible, and I'm like, and you've lost me
Also,
because now you're being irresponsible.
If he used it to be sneaky, maybe. Like if there was, I felt like
yes, that's a good point.
if you're going to be invisible, like then you best be just stabbing people through the back.
They just use
Yeah,
in a perfect
exactly.
world, they use all of these spells to get to a point where that they can just get rid of all the spells because the whole point was that they knew that they were tracking them anyway. So then why were you doing
Well,
it?
and the whole point is they wanted to talk to the assassins.
Yeah.
That's sort of like we're getting ready to fight the assassins who we don't know are here yet.
Yes,
That's
yes.
sort of what it felt
Yes.
like for
Just
the
like-
battle scene to come.
go have a chat, like quit all this BS, cut it out,
Posturing.
go have a chat,
Assassins can't just talk to each other. They can only kill.
But they
Yeah.
have to turn invisible and fly around first.
But they have to turn invisible and fly around because the book knows that a bunch of invisible elves are about to show up and start fucking shit up.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I just
But we
I
that's
don't
not
know.
the
I thought it was dumb.
impetus for the plan is that.
Well, because then as soon as the Tyson D are the secret assassins killing all the assassins.
What?
And they come down and they see Kalam and they're like, we're going to start killing people. And then the second they kill Kalam, Kalam is no longer invisible.
yeah.
So you're like, okay.
so it's just like you could have left all that out. They could have just gone there for their meeting and then they show up and it would have been fine. Like it would have been fine. The plot would have been the same. And you just would have cut out this bullshit.
I will be honest. This whole part confused me because I wasn't even quite sure what each person's agenda was with this
Yeah.
meeting. Like, I don't think that was really clear. I loved the part where he goes to the kitchen, but other than that,
love
like,
that
I
part,
don't get the rest. Because I'm like, are they setting them up to kill? Do they know they're Malazan people? Like, are they setting them up to kill
Yeah.
them, or
So
do
the-
they want
yeah.
to make an alliance with
that.
them? They
So-
do want to make
well,
an alliance.
not really an alliance. So they, yeah.
Do the assassins in Darujistan want to make an alliance?
No.
No.
But Quick Ben and Kalam do.
So-
want to have an agreement.
Because the Tyson D were killing people earlier, Ralik Nam and the Assassins Guild think the Malazans have infiltrated and are trying to kill all the assassins. Little do they know that Kalam and Quick Ben are simply trying to make contact with the Assassins Guild so that they can take out a contract to kill all the noblemen in the city. So that's
I
why
did not
there's
think
this
that was
weird.
incredibly
well,
clear.
and then you learn that Animander Rake was like, he knew that they were going to do that. And so
Yeah.
that's why he was killing assassins, was to get them to preemptively mistrust the Malazan.
Yeah, Animander Rake
Oh.
is like, the Malazans can't make a contract with the assassins if I've killed all the assassins.
Yeah, and if I make it seem like they're the ones doing it.
Which we don't
then-
know until the next scene or two when he talks to Baruch about that.
But
So this is a setup to kill Quick Ben and Kalam.
he's just trying to stop them from having a conversation.
I don't even know
No.
if the Tyson D know that these two guys are going to be there. It's
No,
a setup for the Tyson D to kill the assassins.
Because Animander Rake
But
and
the
Baruch
assassins
don't
are
know the
setting up.
Malazans
But the
have infiltrated.
assassins are setting up Quick Ben and Kalam.
the assassins are ready for anything. They understand,
No, because they're
tacitly,
lead these guys
right?
to
But
this
they
spot.
understand tacitly, there's going to be a conversation, and then the reason there's so many of us is just in case they try something silly, or there's a bunch of them that we don't know about. We can defend ourselves.
Okay.
But the whole game is this sort of James Bondian,
Yeah.
spy thriller, we're gonna meet
They
and
don't
have
know
this conversation.
we're betraying them. and-
Both parties know that they're gonna have a conversation. They don't know what's gonna happen after that, and nobody knows that a bunch of magic elves are about to show up and fuck everything up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Which
love
is-
these two boys,
it
but come on
is
now.
confusing.
I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
and then
the floating
doesn't
thing
and then
did not
doesn't
help.
matter because
Yeah,
at the
none
end of the
of it
section
matters.
it's like okay.
Nothing has been advanced because everybody that needs to influence the plot is still alive. The plan just worked anyway, where the Taistendi killed some assassins.
Our guys get away.
Our guys get away and don't even really like.
They're
They're just
hurt.
like they just say like it didn't work.
Kalam is wounded and then
Fine.
and then gets healed.
Yeah.
But the fun part is when Quick
Is the
is when-
ghoul.
is the demon. Yeah, the
the
demon.
I
Scary
actually
cool.
felt bad for her. I
Pearl.
really,
Yeah.
I
did.
love Pearl.
I did too. Thank you, Shelby,
So
because
when-
I told Mike I felt bad for her, and he said she's a demon. I went, you don't get it.
But she says her name's Pearl.
Yeah, but she also says I'm so ready to kill some guys
No,
right
but
now.
she's
My
like,
name
you've
is
called me to
Pearl.
my death.
Well,
yeah, but I don't think she says it in a sad way. She's just like, oh, okay.
I thought it was
she's
sad.
a little genie in a
I
bottle.
thought it was
kinda
sad.
She's- I don't
Well,
think
so
it's sad.
background, Quick Ben and Kalam are trying to get away from the Taistendi assassins. Quick Ben is like, hey, I stole this from Taishrin, this little vial. Throws it on the ground. A Korvala demon appears.
I picture who's the little ghost that's a small boy?
Casper.
Yeah, I pictured Casper. And then
I like that.
but then with a little pearl necklace. And she says,
Cute.
I am
Aw.
I'm
Pearl.
And
I
she
like that.
names, this is when we
It
get
is
Quick Ben's real name. She
You
says
think
it.
she's Southern?
I'm Pearl.
Ah.
Your name is Quick Ben. He sounds like
I'm
Benoit Blanc.
I'm a Korvala demon.
I could
Don't
destroy
you know?
this city.
You aren't Master Taishrin.
Wait, yeah, she's confused.
Where's Master
are.
Taishrin?
I did think that was cute.
You have a mint and julep in that cloak?
I would like a Tom Collins before I leave here.
Oh no! Does Anamando Rake have a dragon nipper?
So, yes, he throws like a smoke bomb on the ground, but really what it is a smoke demon or
Yep.
something.
Well, it's Pearl.
I understand,
Casper
but
the
I just
ghost.
don't give a shit
No,
about
but
Pearl
she's
as much as the rest of you.
she's
Pearl dies
nice.
immediately.
I know you cut
She's
back and
kind
she's
of like Tool
dust.
that she's just like, I'm
Yeah. I like this
She's
part
in a
where Ralik
vial.
Nam gets struck by an arrow, plays dead, lets the Taistendi get right up to him, and then does his cool, like, turn around on his stomach and shoots him with a crossbow. Because we learn later that he actually managed to kill one of them.
Yeah.
One did
yeah.
die, and it was Ralik Nam.
And
It was not Quick Ben. Or
And I like
Glenn.
the action part where Kalam like pretended to jump off the ledge, but was actually grabbing to the edge.
was
and, then,
cool.
and then when a Taistendi looks over, he like launches with one arm, grabs it on his neck, pulls it down on his
He's
knee.
I
very
throws it
read
strong.
off.
I read this book out loud to Danilo on a drive to a camping trip, and he said, "That's so cool." When I read that part out loud,
He is so. I think part of this is also just letting you know that, like, Kalam is so strong.
He's ripped.
He's like
not.
huge.
He's not an assassin in the sneaky, thin, small, and creepy. He's like a bear of a man,
Which is another
and he's like a
anti-fantasy
sneaky,
thing
but
we're
he's still like a
exploring
sneaky
here.
assassin.
Is that the party rogue is the biggest guy on the team,
Yeah.
which
That's
is fun.
cool though.
Yeah.
I like him.
And he even makes mention of that. Like, his thing is like, I'm just gonna get to you before you can even react because I'm so big and powerful. I'm not gonna sneak up behind you.
Yeah,
You're
and then,
gonna
like,
see me coming and
rip
freak
your
out, and then I'm
head
gonna
off-
rip your
your-
head
your-
off.
your head off.
I do like that part, and like, you know, they escape.
Yep.
But
they get away.
Just barely. They get away.
But then Pearl dies, and
I
everybody's
know.
like, I can hear the screams for forever.
The chain.
Yeah.
So
Baruch,
you
he gets
felt
a
sad
headache.
about Tattersail's death, but you didn't feel sad about Pearl's
yeah, because
death.
Pearl is on on
Interesting.
one page, and Tattersail's in half the novel.
Well,
Yeah,
But
That-
Pearl
Okay.
is got a lot of personality in
yeah,
her two
I would
paragraphs.
say Pearl has more personality
guys
than
are crazy.
Tattersail
I
did.
honestly almost agree.
Yeah.
that is insane.
I
but
knew more about
interspersed
Pearl
with-
than I did
we're cutting
Tattersail.
back and forth between the fight scenes, and we're hanging out with Crocus in the meantime.
Yeah. And this little boy possessed by Opod had decided that it was time for him to return the jewels that he had stolen so he might get one more peek at the love of his life. And I wrote down, "Oh, Crocus, what a little Romeo."
There's
And
literally a balcony.
there's a
scene,
balcony
like
scene.
you
And I was
said.
like, I definitely get the Romeo vibes because later on he likes this other person immediately after, and like just the thought of a woman touching him is like even like
Well,
on his back.
I think the whole chalice thing is just Opon.
Yeah.
I think that has
You
nothing to
think
do with
so?
him. Yeah.
Well, he's 17 though. I think
Which is
so
why it
here's
switches so bad, because he
here's
gets-
my thought about Opon. I think Opon heightens emotions that are already there.
Yeah.
And
I think
so
that's fair.
here's this, like, it's not I'm just putting this thought in your head. It's like you're already feeling this. I'm just going to make it a lot bigger. And
Or
I
like
think
remove is like you do more irrational things.
Well, because the things that these characters do feel in line. Like, it's not like this is left field. All of a sudden, he's doing something that does not feel like it would have happened anyway with this person.
Because the characters are constantly remarking like he would never return the stuff.
Well, but
That's
No,
so
but
weird.
he is
why
a
would Opan want him to return the stuff? What's in it
17-year-old
for
boy.
him?
so he could I don't know, make contact. Maybe he's trying to save this little kid for some reason. He even talks about like maybe I'll leave the thieving life behind and
So he
do
is
this
trying to
thing.
make him fall in love.
Well,
Protect
and
the
there's
coin bearer.
well, then there's that scene where like Ralik Nam takes him by the scruff of the neck and is like, "You don't want this life. This life just ends. You end up lonely, and like all your friends end up dead, and you end up like hollow and inhuman." And so Crocus is like, "Damn, all right. Well, maybe I can better myself and meet this girl or whatever, but it has to start with me making good."
I don't
And
know.
so he has to give it back.
I think that these feelings were kind of already there.
Yeah.
I definitely do believe that when he did see Chalice for the first time and he like felt like he accidentally violated her, that was probably real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
And then
like
he
he
felt
wanted
bad.
to
And
right
there's a-
that
I
wrong.
like
He
I know
wanted
what
to
guilt
right
feels
that.
like.
Yeah.
But
Like,
he doesn't
I
know how
feel
to
guilt,
do
so
it
you're
because
like,
he's
yeah.
not like a high boy. Like, when is he going to run into her and be like, "Hey, sorry"?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
only thing he can do to make it right in his mind is return her stuff.
Yeah.
And boy, wouldn't you know it, when he's returning her stuff, he looks down and there's a dead guy there, and Sorry is just
Whoops.
like, he's just looking up at him, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And so he runs inside. He returns the stuff. He talks to Chalice. They have this scene where he's like, when I go and learn how to read, I'm going to be in line to take your hand in marriage, and we're going to be the only two people in the room who knew this happened, and it's going to make you so excited to have sex with me. And she's like, "Oh, Crocus, how silly of you!" And then she
laughs so
She-
hard
oh,
that
she
she
laughs so-
forgets
that-
she's naked.
she
She's like,
well, is that what it is, that she laughs so hard that the guard comes in? Why does the
no,
guard
she
or
laughs
starts to
and
think
he's
that?
like, she was he just felt like humiliated. She laughed so
Oh, yeah, she-
so
yeah, yeah.
hard that she didn't even realize she was sitting up in bed topless. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm just,
Yeah.
what was I doing? What was I thinking?
But why
I'm
does the
such an
guard
idiot.
rush into the room? Because she doesn't
Because
scream.
they-
He lets out a laugh. She lets
Yeah,
out
that
a
is
laugh.
what
laughed
it
too
is?
loud.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Okay, you better leave because the guards are on their way, but I'm not going to report you. We just forget this happened." And so he leaves, but a bad thing has happened that it will come back to talk about haunting the narrative. This guard who died in the
Not
garden.
Church, a different
Not
guy.
Church, a different unnamed guy died. And Sorry just keeps following this poor little schmuck.
And she wasn't going to. She was going to follow Krupp, but she had a feeling that maybe she should follow.
Well,
And
she saw the
kill
coin,
the coin. She saw the
spinning on the counter.
Is this when Baruch and Animator Rake have their conversation?
I believe so.
I think it is. Rake and Baruch talk, and Rake is like, "So this was my plan, was to kill all the assassins so there are no assassins to have a contract with." And Baruch is like, "You don't understand the culture of this city, because the Assassins Guild has like a social place to like keep all the nobility in check." And Rake is like, "Okay, I guess I didn't ask you about that." And Baruch is like, "Well, ask next time." And then they say, "Okay."
Well, Baruch, I like this scene
Is that,
because Baruch
wait, I
is.
think we missed some stuff.
Well, the Crocus stuff and the fight are interspersed with each other.
Yeah.
We missed. I guess we didn't talk
I
about.
think we're trying to hit the big beats. I think I don't know if we can go.
Baruch
less scene by
tells
scene,
Crocus and crew that they have to go on a mission out of town. Is the other thing that we missed. We missed the scene. We didn't talk about the scene where Animander Rake, post Pearl dying, Animander Rake is standing on the roof, and he's like, he's just like kind of whining. I think it's very funny and very humanizing for him. He's like, "Oh my God, like what the hell even happened?" And they're like, "One of us died," and he's like, "Guys, take 3 days off. Like we
Well,
gotta
they're like,
think
"We're
about
tired, boss. We just came from Caladan Brood."
this." Yeah. He's like, "I've been overworking you guys." He's a nice guy.
Because initially he's pissed. He's like, "I can't believe I had to come." It's like the manager coming
Yeah.
in and having to cover a shift.
Yeah, but when
It's like,
they
"You
when they
idiots."
explain what happened, they're like, "No, you don't have to cover the shift. The guy who didn't show up fucking
And
died."
Amber's like,
He's
"Okay, fine,
"Oh
take
my
3."
God."
Because we're so tired. And
Yeah.
Amanda's like, "Okay, take 3 days off."
One of the pages that we missed, Mac, has the card game.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about this.
Okay.
Quick, Ben.
Funniest card game in the world.
They're playing. So we cut to that weird little shack. You know, they have like a hideout or whatever.
Yeah.
Whiskey Jack is standing against the wall with his arms crossed, thinking again about the things he's been thinking about, how sad he is, his
Brooding.
friends.
It's
and stuff.
so
He's brooding.
hard to be in charge.
And Mallet trots and Fiddler are playing the craziest card game of all time where there are no rules and the game is to just sit there and stare at each other.
I love that.
And Whiskey Jack is even like, oh, this is one of Fiddler's staring games.
He calls it the waiting
the
game.
waiting game.
Well,
It is.
and
It's
eventually,
it's like the silent game in a card. The parents are like, "We're playing the silent game."
and then someone will play a card, and then Fiddler will like say what it does based on the rules he's made up then and there.
Kalam comes in. They heal
That's
Kalam.
how I feel about this magic system, by the way. I think that's the perfect explanation for the shit that comes up in this book. Kind of feels like,
Yeah.
okay, we're all going to sit here and wait for the next thing. And then they're going to be like, oh, and by the way, that influences this. And that
And
is
by the
this
way,
whole
there's
book.
smoke vials with demons in them.
And you're like, oh, yeah.
Quick Ben gets Kalam back to the shack. He gets healed up. Quick Ben takes Mallet's seat, and then this is when Whiskey Jack is like, are they trying to tell me something by playing this weird game? Like sitting around not doing anything? Is this their silent protest to my plan? Because again, we don't know this as the reader even, but Whiskey Jack and Dujek are planning on doing a big betrayal and doing something. So he's like, they just got to hold on a little longer. I promise I'm going to have a literal phone call with him in front of everybody in a couple chapters with a weird
Craziest
knife.
phone call in the world.
I love the bone phone.
Yeah. Stop! Hold on. We'll talk about the bone phone later.
I think it's like 2 more episodes that we get to talk about the bone phone.
Talk about the bone phone a little bit.
Oh, my God. Boo. That was my favorite thing.
And then we get. Is there anything else to say about the bridge burners?
I want to talk about the Baruch and Rake scene because
Oh yeah,
this is another example of Animander Rake, like this all-powerful person being like totally humanized. He literally like sits down in a chair and puts his head in his hands and he's like, bro, I didn't even think to run that by you. I'm sorry. He's like, my bad, big dog. Won't happen again.
I didn't know that.
Baruch tells Animander Rake that there's more than one path to ascendancy, and even Rake is like, okay. I don't know what that means, but I think
He doesn't like that he's an ascendant. He thinks it's stupid that people worship him.
he does, yeah.
Which
I
I
think
love.
that's
Yeah.
kind of fun. He's like, I didn't ask for this, but I have it, so I got to do
Yeah.
it. Like,
He
So,
thinks the
so I'm
names
gonna do the
especially are
right thing.
stupid.
So because I have the power, I'm gonna do the right. He's literally like Spider-Man.
And we find out later why he keeps doing this.
Yeah.
He's just like Spider-Man.
He is. With great power comes great responsibility.
This is the next part where you're going to talk about Dragonpor.
Oh yeah, this
Ooh,
is where
dragon
we
porn?
say
Dragon porn, yeah.
That's what Danilo was looking at
this
the
is
party.
the
Dragon
part of the
porn,
book.
Sorn.
Buckle in, folks.
Sorn. Dragon porn, Sorn.
yeah. There's AI porn of Animander Rake turning into a sword.
I don't
Keeps
really
bringing
know
this
what part of
book
that
to
is
family
porn.
events. I say,
but-
Danilo, you gotta skip these
But
pages.
hey, it gets me there, brother.
Whatever gets the job done.
So we learn we have another fucking dream with this guy I can't stand.
And Karul is like, hey, Krupp, you ever heard of this sword? And Krupp says no.
Yep.
And then Karul says,
Cruel says, well, the audience needs to know about this sword, so let me tell you about it.
we've been edging you on Animander Rake's sword this whole time, and now we're going to explain what it is.
He says, forged in darkness, it chains souls to the world that existed before the coming of light, and that Rake is the knight of High House Darkness.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Its name is Dragniper.
Yeah.
And
It
when
is
I
a
was reading
sword.
this out loud in the car, Danilo went, yeah!
Yeah.
Dragniper. He was so
I'm so
excited.
excited. Dragniper's pretty cool, but pretty terrifying.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Yep.
The slave sword. And I said, so your favorite part in this book is the slave sword?
Hey, good question, Shelby.
And I've got some
We're not at
logistical.
that-
You like
we're
the
not
slave
at
guy
that
and the
part
slave
yet.
sword?
I've got some logistical questions about the job you get when you get hit with
So
Dragonpor.
you have logistical questions about what goes on inside the sword, but not about the local city government?
Yeah.
Because the magic of the sword is the suspension
Or
of
what the
disbelief,
currency
right?
is called?
I can suspend my disbelief when I'm inside the sword, but when I'm in the
You should
city,
get that tattooed.
when I'm in the city, I expect a certain level of care.
This is what
You might love Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson
If
has
you
a whole
wanna-
novel about the city planner and the permit and all the permits the bridge burners need to get.
I don't care about the permits. I just think at least one person in the local government would notice them.
No, because Krupp. I think they explained this. Krupp has a headache every time he walks past, and it's because they're like putting a spell around it, so people sort of like ignore it.
I
I'm
didn't even catch that.
certain,
I
I feel
I'm
like that. So like
certain that
everyone
I
walks
didn't
by
see
and it's
that.
sort of like loud, and they get a headache, and they sort of like.
I mean, so
I
many
sort
of the
of
guys
feel like
working
that
on the
way.
construction crew are magic, so it does
Yeah.
make sense.
I don't remember that. If that's true, all is forgiven.
It could be one of those
I
things
do
that's
think
implied. Yeah.
that was
Can we go
talked
back?
about.
I don't like the slave sword just because it's a sword that enslaves people. That's not why I like it, and I don't like.
Out of all
it.
the swords,
I just
it
have
is
to
your
say
favorite
that
one, though.
out loud.
But a sword in a fantasy book, a sword that does something other than just stabbing a guy is always interesting to me.
Uh-huh.
Correct.
Because I've seen a sword that I've stabbed people with a sword before in my life.
And it's kind
I've
of
fought on a battleground before.
It's kind of boring.
It's boring. You get
Stabbing
used to
people's
it.
boring. You get so used to it.
It's hard to wipe
But
the
when-
blood out of your jerkin. But when you stab
It's hard
somebody
to
with
wipe
a
your
sword,
blood when you're jerking.
can we talk outside for a second?
And you know what? It is.
Yeah, and when you're playing when you're jerking off, yeah, it's hard. Okay,
If you know what I mean.
there's blood all over my hard penis. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what
not,
I mean. Yeah.
It's not coming out.
I hate it when I come blood.
Out.
Too far.
Mac is covering his face.
Wrap it up.
And
unfortunately, on that note, going
that's the
forward, there
end
will
of
be 3 hosts of the Melazomaniac show.
I think that's our episode.
Yay.
That's Assassins.
As book 4,
Book 4.
Assassins.
You know, I will say, I know what an assassin is. There were some confusing parts about this, but like overall, I was like,
You get
okay,
it.
I was prepared. I was prepared. That was nice. I learned some things that I already knew. That felt. I agree. It would be nice to have a few more like what kind of moments, but
I'm
for
not even
most
saying
of the book,
that,
I was
but
like, huh? So
Yeah.
it was nice to be like, duh.
I just think
for
that
the
there
first time.
gets to a point where the affirming of information everybody is aware of. I'm like, okay, what
We know.
is this?
It's like instead of like progressing, everyone's sort of like just sort of swirling.
yeah,
It's a little circle.
circle
Yeah.
breaker.
Aw.
Oh,
And Circle Breaker will change everything in the next episode of
Bum, bum,
Malazan
bum.
Maniacs. Keep listening. Goodbye.
Shelby.
Oh yeah.
were you just gonna say goodbye?
Wait, we were
I
waiting for you.
forgot.
Stay malazin, you maniacs.
Gets a little bit more
Okay, you
sultry
ready?
every time. that one.
It's sexual.
Try it again.
You're gonna
Try it
Shelby,
again.
Shelby, you're gonna make me cum blood.
Stay malazin, you maniacs.